In this story time video, I'm going to tell a tale of a food truck, a young woman who I thought was a stranger, but I later figured out was my cousin somehow, and how we met at a baseball game. Before we get into the video, I got to tell you I was curious, so I asked my mom how we were cousins. I think you know how, but with the information gathered, I was able to create a family tree that I will reveal at the end of this video, after the story unfolds. Without further ado, let's get into the story. On Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, I stumbled into a coincidence so wild it sounds like it could have been scripted by Hollywood. To understand how nuts this story is, you first gotta know my life. I work a hybrid office job in Little Rock, Arkansas, but I live in Fayetteville, home of the Arkansas Razorbacks. The greatest college baseball program ever. Yes, better than LSU. Normally, I'm in the office Monday through Wednesday. Then I drive 3.5 hours home to remotely work on Thursday, Friday. I have weekends off, and then I drive back to Little Rock on Sunday night. Now this Tuesday was different. I'd asked the supervisor if I could work from home on Wednesday so I could catch the Arkansas Razorbacks versus UALR games on Tuesday and Wednesday at Baum-Walker Stadium. Game 1 on Tuesday was at 6:30 p.m. and Game 2 on Wednesday was at 5 o'clock p.m. The supervisor approved, and if she hadn't, this story wouldn't exist. I was going to be late to the game regardless, but I was even later than I should have been because I left the office at 4 p.m. and then I had to stop at 7 Brew to get my go-to on the way there. Large Americano, 4 cream, 4 sugar, 2 extra espresso shots, or a German chocolate, but that day I got the Americano. I rolled up to the stadium around 7:30 p.m. mid-third inning. Parking was a nightmare. But this is UALR we're talking about. Now when Arkansas played Texas game 1, I literally could not find a spot to park and I had to park over a mile away and walk. But this day wasn't that bad. And this guy at a nearby business waved me over and let me park for free. It was normally a $20 spot and he told me not to tell anybody, which I just realized I told the whole world. Whoops. He said, "You look like you're having a day, man." Well, isn't everyone having a day? I'm convinced he was an angel. Unlike Gary, the ice cream man. Stay away from that guy. As I'm walking to the stadium, I see a bald eagle, the Razorbacks' unofficial mascot. I took it as a sign this was going to be a legendary night. I did not actually see a bald eagle on the way there. I get to the gate and the security guard stops me. "No coffee in the main stands, buddy. You gotta drink that in the hog pen." So I'm in the hog pen, chugging my Americano, when I spot John Neighbors. Yes, the John Neighbors from Inside Arkansas with Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis. He's a legend in these parts. I walk up, we chat for a bit, and he's like, "Man, you're late, but you got the right energy." How did you know I was late? Were you watching me? Yeah, me and John have just really never gotten along. He's probably forgotten and he doesn't even know who I am.
I'm trying to remember who said it, but somebody said something similar to that to me one time. They were just like, "Yeah, me and John, we just never have gotten along." I was like, "I don't even know who you are."
Then I head to a food truck to grab some grub. I'm craving a glizzy, you know, a hot dog, the internet's favorite snack. I ask the young woman at the counter, who I thought was a stranger at the time, but I later figure out was my cousin, "Y'all got glizzies?" She laughs and says, "Nah, we don't do glizzies." In retrospect, I'm very glad I didn't pull out the glizzy riz. But there's an older woman behind her, probably in her 50s, who's like, "A what? A glizzy?" I'm dying laughing because she's so confused. And I'm like, "Ma'am, if you don't know what a glizzy is by now, I can't help you." So I forgot to mention a few things and I will outline them here in the closet. I specifically remember when I walked up to that food truck, I asked the younger lady what the most popular thing is or what's her favorite, thinking she's just a complete stranger. She said the barbecue fries, and then I didn't even take her suggestion. I got the nacho barbecue nachos. But yeah, I remember that interaction, thinking we were strangers. She's my cousin. The next day, Arkansas's back at it against UALR for game 2 at 5 p.m. If I hadn't gotten the work from home approval, I'd still be stuck in Little Rock, missing the game entirely. I head back to the same food truck because their nachos are straight up fire. The same 2 women are there, the young one taking orders and the old one in the back cooking. The old one spots my hat and says, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that hat? I love it." Then she starts asking me all these weird random questions. How tall are you? How old are you? Where'd you go to high school? What's the weirdest food combo you've ever tried? Do you think clouds ever argue about who gets to rain first? What's the strangest thing you've ever wanted to try but haven't yet? Do you think cats secretly judge us us for not catching our own food. She did not actually ask me all those weird questions, only like 3 of them, not the last 4. Now at this point, I'm starting to get uncomfortable. She's completely went off the rails at this point, asking me all these crazy questions, and she can see it on my face. I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. Then she laughs and says, I'm sorry, I'm asking way too many questions. What's your mom's maiden name and what's your blood type? It was clearly a joke, like she was poking fun at herself for being too nosy. I realize the question's rhetorical, but I respond anyway by saying, I don't know my blood type and my mom's maiden name is Hudson. When I say this, I can see the young woman's eyes light up for just a moment. She goes, wait, my last name is Hudson. What's your mom's first name? Kim, I say. What's your grandpa's name? She asks. Donald, I exclaim bewilderedly. Her green eyes drop and her lips say, we're cousins. Yes, I see she has blue eyes. When I originally recorded this line, I just said a random eye color. She says it so casually like she's telling me the weather, but my brain is doing backflips. What makes it even crazier is that there's only like 5 women on that side of the family with the last name of Hudson. It is actually only 4. One more thing I want to point out. I don't know if you guys have experienced this. You'll occasionally meet somebody with your last name or a last name relative to your family. Maybe I'm the only one, but usually they'll start asking, who's your grandpa, who's your mom, such and such and such and such, and it'll just be completely off. This time it was actually real. And that's why I emphasize this so much. There's only 5 women on that side of the family with that last name. Only 4, not 5. So when she started asking about my mom and my grandpa's first name, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, here we go. This is just another one of those asking for the family names just to find out we're not related. Then she said she spoke to my mom on the phone. This was just really unbelievable. And the thing is, they don't even live on that side of the state. They live on a completely different side of the state, which made it even crazier. That, number one, we were even in the same stadium as one another at the same time. And number 2, that we met. And number 3, we somehow found out we were cousins. It's just everything falling together perfectly. It's just like the stars aligned. So I'm standing there, nachos in one hand, beer hat in the other, realizing I just met my cousin at a random food truck at a Razorbacks game. What are the odds? 100%, I suppose. So here's my family tree that I've gathered from information from my mother. So these were the OGs up here. They're both dead. And the OGs had Donald and Ronald as a son each. I mean, they had 2 sons, one named Donald, one named Ronald. Donald had Kim and Ronald had Eric. I should say their wives had those kids. Not them personally, but they're the biological fathers of those people. Donald also had Cassie, who is Drewbert's mother. There he is, Drew, standing on that rock. And then Noah, who is Drewbert's brother. Donald had Angie as well, who had Colton, Kyle, Wyatt, and Brogan. So these are my only 7 biological first cousins, because my dad does not have any siblings. Now, this side of the family, I don't know any of them. I really don't. I don't know if I've met Chad. I don't know if I've met Eric. Maybe I've met Ronald once. But as for Chad's daughters, Mariah and Micah, I've never met. And then Ella and Presley, I've also never met. So I don't have any idea about this side of the family because I've never seen them except for at funerals, which is just pretty depressing. But these are my siblings, Ashlyn and Reed. Ronald had Chad and Eric. I've never talked to Mariah, Micah, or Chad, I don't believe. Never talked to Eric either, and I've never talked to Presley or Ella. So out of Mariah, Micah, Ella, and Presley, I didn't even know Mariah, Ella, or Presley existed. The only reason I even knew that Micah existed was because we followed each other on Instagram in like 2018, but then she unfollowed me and moved to South Beach and became a kindergarten teacher. I think she's a model or something. I have no idea. They don't talk to me. If they would come to Christmas with us, we could all play Filthy Santa, but they won't do that. No family cruises, no nothing. No messages, no DMs, only an Instagram unfollow. Says these 2 meet as strangers, which is true because we met as strangers. So this is a very descriptive outline of how we are biological cousins. I don't really know what you would call this kin-wise on this side. I guess you would call it second cousins because they're on the opposite side of the bracket. Now, if Ella and Presley, Micah and Mariah were on this side of the bracket, they'd be my first cousins. But since they're on the other side of the bracket, I guess guess we're second cousins? I'm not really sure. So that's the story of why I thought my cousin was a stranger. We haven't even talked since that game. She won't even follow me on Instagram. This is actually a remake of a video I posted before. I just thought it was super cringe and I didn't like it, and I thought I could just tell the story better if I redid it. Think of it as a remake to a movie that went bad. She was like, wait, your mom's last name is Hudson? That's my last name. Also, it got less than 10 views, and all of those views are from me, which is pretty sad. Subscribe to my channel. Right now, I only have 3 subscribers, so if you would subscribe and watch my videos, that would mean the world to me. Stay disturbed and uncomfortable, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
It's Mr. Disturbing. It's the Mrs. Disturbing channel. Coming out with another banger video. Mr. Disturbing. Another banger video. Thanks for signing in on the Mr. Disturbing channel. Yeah, Mr. Disturbing.